Okay, it's a total boxing TV hand wrapping demonstration with leading Cutman Adam Gigli, and he's now going to demonstrate his World Championship hand wrapping skills. Over to you, Adam. So this is what you'll be doing pre-fight in the dressing room, yeah?
Fighters, yeah, fist, mate, fist. That's it, yeah, with the Bradley Swans and boys, exactly the same as what I do with them. Open. Fist.
At what time would you be doing this before a fight?
Fist. You know, we'd do it maybe an hour, hour and a half before the fight, you know, or whenever they want to do it. And fist.
How do you know how much tape to put on?
I mean, it varies obviously from fight to fight. Some fighters got bigger hands than others, or especially if they've got some little niggling injuries, then I'll put on a little bit more, But us just roughing a few hands,
And is this
what how much you want to use.
And is this what you would call the first layer?
Yeah, that first layer is especially just to protect their metacarpals a little bit better in the hands. Someone like Brad, he punches very hard for his weight, especially with his hand injuries as well. I want to try and protect these bones in the back of his hand as much as possible.
Yeah.
And wide. So keep your fingers nice and wide. Nice and wide.
And just to let people know, they may not know themselves, the idea of hand wrapping is to obviously avoid injuries to the fighter's hands, making sure the wrist is supported and protection for the knuckle area.
Absolutely. When we're wrapping, what we're looking to do is obviously protect the four main areas we're looking to protect. You've got obviously your wrist, the thumb, the knuckles, and the metacarpals at the back of the hand there. So, it's not really the bandage that protects the hands, it's what we do with the tape.
Okay.
So like that first base layer that I put on, James. That first base layer that we put on, and then the tape that we're now going to put on after this. That's actually what's going to protect the hands. The bandage, it's just a sort of protective layer for our skin, as you would. So it doesn't. So the tape wouldn't take the skin off. That's right, your hair layer off your skin, etc. So it's not actually the bandage that protects the hands. move around, stretch out. I mean, what you'd want to be asking a fighter is when you're wrapping, you know, what you want to be constantly asking as you go along, how's it feel, is that too tight, too loose? You know, you want their feedback, you know?
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to be doing is get to the end, you finish, and they go, of course, it's a bit tight.
Did that happen before you had to do it again?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're working, you know, say with foreign fighters who don't necessarily speak good English or understand English, you know, open. Fist.
How much tape can you get through in a night? Say, for example, if you're looking after 2-3 fights on the same night.
I mean, it's mainly with the MMA guys. So now open, you find yourself in boxing. You might work with, say, 1 or 2 fighters a night. The MMA is a bit different. You might work with over fist. Yeah, you know, you can with the MMA work upwards to 12 to 15 boxes a night. So in that case, it could be get through a hell of a lot of tape. It'd be a busy night. And over. And
between boxing and MMA, would you wrap exactly the same for boxing and mixed martial arts?
It's slightly. I mean, the technique's the same. Over. Fist. The technique is the same. The only difference is the only main difference is really fist. Is obviously the protection on the knuckles. Obviously, the MMA gloves are a lot smaller. So we won't need as much padding, and we don't go as high up the arm either. So, but I mean, like I say, the technique is the same. Open. Over. Open. Fist. Open. Now this bit's really important when I say open, close and fist, because what you don't want to do is you want to get the tension right. You don't want to start pulling tight across the wrist here when the fighter's hands are wide open. Last thing you want to do is start bunching up them fingers nice and wide. And make it fist. Alright, that's when you want to pull nice and tight, especially on the back of the hand. So, open. Fist. And keep it close. You can pull that tape nice and tight across the back of the hand, because if it's going to break, that's where it's going to go. There's a lot more to it than what a lot of people think.
Indeed.
Open. Fist. Open. Fist. Open. And fist.
Any professional boxer or amateur boxer or MMA fighter cannot underestimate the quality in terms of how they get their hands wrapped.
No, I mean, at the end
it's a key component. It's something that can go under the radar, but
absolutely,
if your hands get wrapped wrongly, you're not going to have a fight.
No, I mean, especially, I mean, you're a professional boxer. I mean, you're not. You earn your money, you know, from throwing your fists about. You know, the last thing you want to be doing is breaking your hands out the sideline. I mean, it's like any tradesman. You know, I'm sure in certain trades, everyone has their tools of the trade. You know, and hands is what earns a boxer's money. You know, so yeah, I mean, a lot of fighters do take their hands for granted, but it's not until you get somebody like Bradley Saunders who actually knows. He's having a lot of trouble with his hands. You know, that's why he gets me in and he has them wrapped properly and looks after him. You know,
and that's why he gets you in to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, compared to this, to what you've done for Bradley Saunders up in Newcastle on Saturday,
yeah.
Did you put a lot more on Bradley?
Yeah, I put a few extra layers on Brad, yeah, but I mean the technique is the same, and it's not a whole great load of difference, you know. Twist. And glue it all together. Turn over times. Turn over one. Twists.
Once you get your hands wrapped, it actually allows an individual to actually clench your fist a lot tighter and stronger.
Absolutely, yeah. That's all it is, just to give the fighter a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
You know, for them lads who do hit hard, you know, it gives them confidence to fight their hands and not have to worry about getting any little niggling injuries. Absolutely. And there you go.
And there we are. Right hand wrapped by the best in the business, Adam. And if you want Adam to wrap your hands in your corner, you can follow him on Twitter at Cutman UK. There we go.